Good morning, fifth graders. Today we are going to again be practicing dialogue. Yesterday we practiced with just single sentences. You should have followed along with the video and then completed the assessment or the practice in the assessments tab in Otis. Today we're going to review a little bit what we learned yesterday and learn something new. What do we do when we have two people talking back and forth to each other? All right, first we're going to review a little bit. So here's this next comic. This is pretty funny. Okay, here we got another kitty. It says, "Now that is a cat toy," and he's looking at the Christmas tree. If any of you have ever had cats, you may know that you have Christmas ornaments all over the floor, and my cat has been messing up the tree skirt, the part that goes around the bottom, and it's never looks nice. It's always a disaster because he's a monster. So let's look at this. One of the things I do want to focus on a little bit is thinking about the cat, and instead of saying said, I like to use the phrase said is dead. So let's try to think of something besides said. Now that is a cat toy. Did the cat say it? Did he probably not say it? He think it? Maybe he shouted it? Maybe he yelled it? Maybe he croaked it? It is an exclamation point, so it's probably something like yelled or hollered or screamed, or it actually is a thought bubble, so we could say thought bubble, so we could say thought the cat. So we're going to take a minute to review. I'm going to go ahead and write it right up here. I'm going to use those different colors again so that we can see which part the cat is actually saying. So let's see, the cat is actually saying this. Now that is a cat toy. And thinking of our punctuation, making sure that this is an exclamation point because it does show here exclaiming, end quotation marks, but we're not quite done yet. We have to have that tagline afterwards. So what should we use? Thought the cat, yelled the cat, meowed the cat, since he's a kitty cat, hollered the cat. I kind of like hollered. I don't know why, I'm just feeling that one today. So I'm going to do hollered the cat. Now remember that at the end of the sentence, I don't put an exclamation point because I am not exclaiming, "Hollered the cat!" I'm just saying that part. So if I were going to read this out loud, it would say, "Now that is a cat toy," hollered the cat. So again, hollered the cat is not actually an exclamation, just this part up here is. All right, so now that we have reviewed a little bit, we're going to work a little bit more on how to talk back and forth. You may have caught it in the video Brain Pop yesterday. Whenever a new person starts talking, you start a new line of dialogue. So let's look at this comic. Oh, this is silly. Okay, so cats have bad attitudes. That's kind of what their thing is. So this one says, "Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas." That's the dog loving everything wrapped in Christmas lights. And then the cat's thinking, whatever. Because that's kind of how cats have their attitude. So if we were going to look at this, we're going to do this one together. So let's say the dog is talking first. So the dog is talking first, and we're going to have the dog. He looks pretty excited about it. So let's see. We're going to say, "Merry, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas." Let's say something maybe exclaimed. Ooh, I like that one. Exclaimed the dog. Oops. All right, so now I need to punctuate it. Okay, what did the dog actually say? I'm going to put quotation marks around that, and he's exclaiming it. So we're going to want exclamation point here. And then remember, we're not exclaiming, exclaimed the dog. We're just saying that normal. So this is what the dog is saying. "Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas," exclaimed the dog. And now we need to put what the cat says. So the cat is replying. So we're going to go on to the next line. We're going to skip down because we want to make sure there's a little bit of a break. And we're going to say what the cat says. "Whatever." That's exactly what the cat says. Notice there is an exclamation point here, so I do want to keep that. I'm putting quotation marks around what the cat actually said. And then I'm also going to say, so the cat is replying to what the dog said. So I want to say maybe answered the cat, replied the cat, something that lets me know that they're interacting with each other. I kind of like replied. replied the cat. And remembering that I don't need an exclamation point at the end, just a period at the end. So, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas, exclaimed the dog. Whatever, replied the cat. So that's kind of how it should look when we have two separate lines whenever somebody new starts. We do not want a full paragraph of different people talking back and forth to each other. Okay, this next one, I want you to practice on your own. So take out your whiteboard or your piece of paper, and I want you to pause the video, take a minute, and I want you to recopy this and practice this. So this is number 1. I want you to write this down and practice punctuating the dialogue correctly. So pause the video, write it down, see if you get it correct. All right, welcome back, 5th graders. Okay, this one I think is beyond adorable. So, you know how with little kids you go, oh, I got your nose, and they put your thumb between there, and the kids are like, oh no, my nose is gone. This is the snowman going, I got your nose. And then it's a baby carrot that came out of the snowman's nose. That's pretty cute. So, for this one, I want to make sure what is the snowman actually saying. So again, check your work as we do this. I got your nose. And I'd say he's kind of teasing, the snowman is kind of teasing the baby snowman. So I'm actually going to say teased the snowman. Or maybe you could say joked the snowman. Or something like that. I'm going to say teased. Teased the snowman. Okay, now I need to make sure I punctuated it correctly. So, what did the snowman actually say? Put quotation marks around that. Again, this is an exclamation here. So I'm going to put an exclamation point here. And then at the end, I'm going to put a period. All right, if you got that correct, give yourself a pat on the back. I don't know, do jumping jacks. Woohoo, way to go. Awesome job. And now we're going to try another one. So 5th graders, I want you to see if you can do this one on your own. So take a minute, read it, and see if you can answer this one on your own. So make sure that you're going to be writing it down on a piece of paper, and then we'll go over it in a minute to check your work. This is funny. Okay, pause it, see if you can make sure punctuate it correctly. Alrighty, welcome back. Let's check our work. So this is funny because it says, shouldn't you be in the workshop? This is Santa asking a question. And then this guy's replying, I am a hobbit, not an elf. And so he thought he was an elf and thinks he should be in the workshop. That's kind of funny. I really like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, all of those, so I think that's pretty silly. All right, so we're going to start with what Santa says. So shouldn't you be in the workshop? And this is a question, so we're going to say asked Santa. And remember that Santa is a proper noun. It's the name of somebody. All right, now we got to make sure our punctuation is correct. So we got to put quotation marks around this. What did Santa actually say? Notice this is a question and then a period at the end. All right, but we're not done yet. Now the Hobbit has to reply. So since it's a new person talking, I'm going to go to the next line. And the Hobbit's going to reply, I'm a hobbit, not an elf, replied the Hobbit. Again, I want to steer away from using the word said. We just use said way too much. And it gets kind of boring when you say, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. Too many saids. All right, and what did the Hobbit actually say? The Hobbit actually said, I'm a hobbit, not an elf. And he looks like he's pretty upset, so we're going to put an exclamation point here. What? I can't believe that he would think that. And then we're going to put a period at the end. All right, 5th graders, yours should look something like this. Having this here, skipping a line, going on to the next one. You could have also flipped it around and say Santa asked, Shouldn't you be in the workshop? The hobbit replied, I'm a hobbit, not an elf. So there are, you can put the tag at the beginning or at the end. For this last one that we're going to practice together, try putting the tag at the beginning. So instead of saying asked Santa at the end, you would say Santa asked blah, 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 blah. The hobbit replied blah, 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 blah. So let's try to do that for this next one. Okay, this one's really cute. Dude, check out our new house. Sweet. Because they're gingerbread men, which is kind of funny. All right, pause the video, take a minute, and see if you can get this punctuated correctly on your piece of paper or your whiteboard. All right, welcome back, fifth graders. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can try to get all of it on here. Okay, so we're going to try to put the tag at the beginning. So we're going to say the gingerbread man, well, let's see, exclaimed, when we do this, we do our comma. We have to separate the tag from the quotation. Quotation. Now let's write what the gingerbread man said. We always capitalize the first word in a quotation. Dude, check out our new house. And he is exclaiming it again. We've got lots of exclamations in this one. Exclamation point, end quotation. Now, the other guy is responding or replying. So we're going to say responded. So we should say maybe his friend responded, sweet. So let's see. We got to do our tag. Ooh. His friend responded. Okay, we got to separate the tag from the quotation. Comma, quotation, capital S, because this is like a new sentence. Sweet. Exclamation point, end quotation mark. Notice again that the punctuation is inside of the quotation marks at the end of the sentence. And this does not look like an H, that looks like a T-L. There we go. So if you got that one correct, fifth graders, give yourself a pat on the back, way to go. There is an assignment in Otis Assessments that will give you a chance to practice your punctuation, making sure that you have learned this and are doing it correctly. So please go to your Otis Assessments on the left side of your screen, click on the dialogue assessment for today, and spend a few more minutes practicing your dialogue. Good luck, fifth graders, and make sure you let your teacher know if you have any questions.